Hello. This is the Bible in fewer words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 125, 2 Samuel, chapters 14 and 15. If you enjoy this podcast and the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, consider supporting us at patreon.com/BFW. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol.
We have our work cut out for us today.
Yeah, well, it's only 2 chapters, but it's kind of long.
Yes, so last time, bad stuff happened.
Yeah.
David is really pretty upset at
Absalom, because Absalom killed his brother, Amnon, because Amnon raped his sister, Tamar.
Oh, yes. Okay, so that's all we need to know, I guess, to
think
plunge
so.
into this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, chapter 14, verse 1. Joab could see that David was upset about Absalom. So he fetched a wise woman from Tekoah. He told her to pretend to have been mourning for a long time. Then he sent her to David and told her what to say.
So the woman visited King David and said, I'm a widow with 2 sons. One of my sons killed the other, and my whole family has demanded that I deliver my son to them so they can kill him for killing his brother.
David said, Go home. I'll take care of it for you. Whoever said this won't bother you any more. Your son will be safe.
And then she said, May I say something more?
David said, Sure, go ahead.
The woman said, Why are you doing the very same thing yourself by not restoring your son who has been banished? Who's she talking about here?
Well, she's talking about Absalom.
Oh, yes, because King David sent him away. He is not happy that he killed his brother.
Right. So David asked her, Did Joab put you up to this?
And the woman said, Yes, he put the words in my mouth.
So Joab's trying to patch things up, I guess, in the family.
Yes, he is.
David said to Joab, Go get Absalom.
Joab fell on his face. I guess Joab thinks he's in a little bit of trouble.
I guess, I don't know.
That falling on the face is bad news.
Yeah. Then he got up and fetched Absalom.
David said to Joab, Let Absalom stay in his own house. I don't want to see his face. So Absalom was staying in another town.
Yeah, Absalom was born in Hebron.
Okay.
And I'm thinking maybe he was still living there. So he went to get him. Now he came to Jerusalem, and I guess maybe he has his own house in Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm. And so then David said, okay, I'm letting him come back here, but he can stay in his own house. Like, I don't really want to see him.
That's right. I think so. He's still angry with him. He can come up here and he can live in Jerusalem, but don't have him come around here.
Yeah. So Absalom was the best-looking man in Israel. He didn't have a blemish on his whole body. Well, that is a weird line, isn't it?
Yeah. He was the best-looking guy in Israel.
That is not true. We've already had the best-looking guy in Israel.
Well, yeah, but he's dead.
Okay.
That was Saul, right?
Yes.
David, of course, is very good-looking, so I don't know if he's better-looking. God really has a thing for good-looking guys.
Yes.
But Absalom, right now, for the people that are living at the time of Absalom, even including David, Absalom's the best-looking guy.
A really important quality in a king.
Yeah.
According to God.
When he cut his hair, he had to cut it every year because it became so heavy. His hair weighed more than 200 shekels.
200 shekels? 40 pounds?
Oh, no, that's not right. It'd be more like 5 pounds.
Okay.
But still, an average person's hair would be a fraction of that.
Yes. Absalom lived 2 years in Jerusalem. During that time, he never saw his father's face.
He twice sent Joab to talk to him, but David wouldn't come to see him.
Absalom said to his servants, Go set Joab's barley field on fire.
You know, there's a thing in the Bible about setting people's fields on fire. Remember Samson did it?
Yes.
With the Philistines? And someone else did it too. I can't remember who it was. But
Well, the funny thing about Samson, wasn't it foxes?
yes, it was especially weird with Samson.
Yeah.
But it's a thing that happens a lot in the Bible. And you get mad at somebody, you set their field on fire. Very strange.
I guess it's sending them a message.
Well, yeah, it certainly is in this case.
Mm-hmm. So his servants did that. And then Joab said to Absalom, "Why did you set my field on fire?"
He answered, "Because I sent you to ask my father to come see me. Let me see the king's face. If I did anything wrong, he can kill me."
Okay, that I would not put that out there like that. Okay.
That's right.
So Joab went to David and told him what Absalom said.
And David let Absalom come to see him.
I guess that worked.
Yeah.
Absalom came to the king and bowed his face to the ground. And then David kissed him.
Yeah, so it's
all
everything's
fixed.
good now. Okay, chapter 15. After this, Absalom prepared a chariot, 50 horses, and 50 men to run before them. You might be wondering why that would be.
Yes.
He's trying to show that he's pretty powerful.
Oh, an important guy.
He's
His
going to be a king.
His own little parade.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Every day, Absalom stood by the gate of Jerusalem and said to people coming to do business with the king,
"You have a good case, but you won't be treated fairly. If I were king, I'd treat you right."
When they bowed to him, he grabbed them and kissed them. And by doing things like that, he stole the hearts of everyone in Israel.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's stealing their hearts away from David to himself. That's my guess.
Yes, for sure.
This is like handing out candy at a parade.
Uh-huh, I think so.
After 40 years, Absalom said to David, "Let me return to Hebron to pay my vow to God. I promised God that if he brought me back to Jerusalem, I'd serve him.
So I guess he was living in Hebron.
And now he wants to go back.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
He
we'll
promised
find
God.
out. Okay.
Yeah. He said, "I promised God that if he brought me back to Jerusalem, I'd serve him."
Uh-huh.
So David said, "Okay, go in peace."
So Absalom went to Hebron.
Meanwhile, Absalom sent spies throughout Israel who told everyone, "When you hear a trumpet, you'll know that Absalom is king in Hebron."
So if he's king of Hebron, then he can just kind of be also king of Jerusalem.
He pretty much would be. At least it would be a big problem for the king in Jerusalem because Hebron is not far away in Judea. So you can't have two kings in Judea.
No, and this is kind of the way the kingdom was split before, right? Before it was a united kingdom, was it?
Yeah, yes, but that was Israel in the north and Judah in the south.
Okay.
Hebron and Jerusalem are both in the south.
Oh,
So
not the same way it was.
it's different because it would be dividing the southern kingdom of Judah into Hebron and Jerusalem. That would be bad. But what he'd probably be doing is actually he's saying, "I'm king."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Because he was saying, when I'm king, I'll
Yeah.
treat you well.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I'm king right here.
Mm-hmm.
So Absalom enlisted David's counselor, Ahithophel, in his conspiracy against his father, and the conspiracy grew stronger.
Then a messenger came to David and said, "The hearts of the men of Israel are with Absalom."
Uh-oh. And David said, "Let's run away before he kills us all."
He's such a brave guy.
I know, he's becoming kind of a weak king, and you know what happens to weak kings?
Uh-huh.
Their officers come and kill them in bed.
Yeah. So David left Jerusalem, but he left behind his 10 concubines to fend for themselves and keep house.
That's kind of an odd thing. He took everybody else except those 10 concubines.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens about that later.
Okay. Everyone else, except the concubines, left with David to a place that was far away. That sounds like a fairy tale. Far, far away.
It might be. Zadok and the Levites were also with David, carrying the Ark of the Covenant.
David said to Zadok, "Go back to Jerusalem. If I please God, he'll bring me back there too."
So Zadok and Abiathar carried the Ark back to Jerusalem.
One of the men told David that Ahithophel had joined Absalom's conspiracy.
David said, "Please, God, make Ahithophel's advice foolish."
Then Hushai came with his coat torn and with dirt on his head.
David said to Hushai, Return to Jerusalem and become Absalom's servant.
When you become his servant, tell Zadok and Abiathar whatever you hear.
So Hushai returned to Jerusalem and became David's spy.
Oh, so we have Ahithophel.
Mm-hmm.
He's on Absalom's side.
Yeah.
And now Hushai is on David's side in Absalom's house.
Yeah, so he's going to go back and spy for Jerusalem. Hey, what's going on with Absalom? The rest of them are going to be hiding out someplace.
Yeah.
And everybody went with him except for this Hushai guy. And then he also sent Zadok and the priest Abiathar back with the ark. So the ark's going back to Jerusalem too.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we end this episode.
Okay. A lot happening. I feel like it's a big moment here.
Yeah. And it's going to continue into the next episode where we have the problems between David and his son Absalom are going to continue.
To be continued.
Right.
Okay. Thanks for sharing this, Steve.
Sure.
And thanks, listeners. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.